Hey everybody, this is Lorelia coming to you today. Want to talk about I'm going to talk about a topic that's going to have a lot of people salty. It's going to get a lot of people mad, but I want to clear up a lot of confusion that's in the marketplace. So if you see the title of this video, it's basically, let me see because I done forgot that quick. 750 credit score, tier 4 equals no funding. I may change that title after I finish doing this live. But basically, what do I mean by that? Because like I said, this video is going to make a lot of people salty. And so let's get in the topic at hand. I like to always let people know that I'm not new to the topic of credit. Got over 400 plus videos here on this channel talking about the topic of credit, the topic of funding, the topic of business credit. So today, what I want to discuss with you, a 750 credit score. So let me explain to you why a lot of people are going to get salty. Many of you all have gotten credit repair. And I'm going to explain how the process works. And I'm either going to get some people who are like, aha, oh, that's why. Or I'm going to get some people really mad is because I'm actually peeling back the curtains, letting you know what's going on in the world of credit, what's going on in the area of funding, and how you can bring them both together in order to win at this game. Because at the end of the day, it's a game. If you think it's not a game, if you think there's not a blueprint, if you think there is not a rule book and how this game is played, what's going to happen is that 5 or 10 years down the road, you're going to realize that the shortcut that you have been sold on, because a lot of people now are saying, hey, I got a shortcut to this, we could do something like this. And a lot of times what happens is that it ends up being something illegal and it only hurts you in the long run. And so what happens is you get further away from your goal. So what do I mean by 750 credit score? So this particular person has recently got credit repair. I said that. And they have what's considered a thin file. What's a thin file? Thin file is less than 10 accounts on their report. And that could consist of revolving, installment loans, what have you. And remember, this is no shade to the credit professional, because at the end of the day, the credit professional gave that person what they wanted. They gave them a high credit score. And so what happens to this individual is that this individual truly believes that now they have this 700 plus credit score and boom, they can go and get top of the line funding because they have a 700 credit score. And that's why I am not impressed by people who try to tell me, hey, when people do a 15-minute consultation with me, the first thing they say, hey, I got 700 plus credit score, I got 800 plus credit score, I got the net 30 accounts, I want to know what kind of funding I can get. And so a lot of times I'm not impressed by that because I know that all credit is not created equal. Do you hear me? All credit is not created equally. Just because you have a 700 credit score with your thin file, you're not going to get funding. And let me explain to you why. The reason why you're not going to get funding is because what you all don't understand, and this is the playbook that all credit professionals follow. Most of them are going to tell you, hello, hi, DJ Jill Sweet. What they're going to tell you is that they're going to rebuild your credit. And then when you get your credit rebuilt, they're going to tell you, repaired. Once you get your credit repaired, then they're going to tell you we need to do the credit rebuild part. The credit rebuild part usually consists of certain types of accounts. And those accounts are usually, they'll tell you, go get a First Premier card, go get a My Jewelers card, which is, My Jewelers is not a card, it's an actual account for you to buy jewelry. They give you a $5,000 limit and you have to buy some jewelry. They'll tell you to get an Open Sky card. They'll tell you to get a Credit One card. What a lot of people don't know, and this is what I'm going to share my screen. A lot of people do not know, and if you're looking at my screen, a lot of people do not know that credit is broken up into tiers. And so if you look at my screen under tier 4, that's your Merit card, that's your My Jewelers, that's your First Premier, that's your Credit One, that's your Open Sky. Those are tier 4 cards, and they actually hurt your credit more than they harm it. Most of the time, those individuals who get those cards, the limits either start at 300 or they start at 500. So this is what I need people to understand, because I think they don't quite get that. How are you? Just got your credit repaired. Your credit professional may have told you, hey, how you doing, Karen Patterson? May have told you that now you need to get your credit rebuilt. And they recommend these cards, like I said, the Merit, the Open Sky, the My Jewelers. Now, I'm not going to take anything away from the game. People could play it anywhere they want. But a lot of times these professionals tell you to get these cards is because a lot of times they are affiliates of these companies. Like I said, this video is going to make a lot of people salty, because this is the information that a lot of customers or clients of theirs do not know. So you've gotten your credit repaired. You have your 700 plus credit score. But now you only have tier 4 cards reported on your credit at 300 to 500. The reason why I labeled this video means no funding equals no funding, because there is not a lender out there on the business side or on the personal side who is going to get you 50,000, 75, 100,000 in funding. And all you have is these little tier 4, 300 and 500 cards. Exactly. DC even said you don't look fundable. Exactly. If you look on the other side, tier 1, there's which are tier 1 banks are the 4 top banks in the country. Those are your Chase, Citibank, Wells Fargo, BOA. I find it very interesting. It's almost laughable that a person thinks they recently got credit repair. The credit professional did what they wanted, wiped everything off their credit report, and they think they're going to go to these tier 1 banks and get $15,000, $10,000. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And so I'm here to tell you, your credit professional, they sold you a damaged bag of goods. That is why people will be looking around with the gas face, wondering, why can't I get any funding? I have a 700 plus credit score. I don't know why I can't get anything. Because remember, I said in the beginning of this video that it is there's a blueprint, there's a playbook, and unless you clearly know that your goal is, I understand mistakes happen. Hey, you know what? Fell into some hard times. My credit, had got damaged. I need to get it rebuilt. But understand that there are stages to this. There's levels to it. Your tier 4 Merit Bank, My Jewelers, First Premier, Open Sky, Credit One, which are $300 or $500 balances, are not going to get you to 50 to 100,000, not even to 15. There are steps to it. So, the reason why I did this video is because a lot of people come to me and they got the gas face. and they're upset and they're angry that they didn't get approved for anything. You know what? And I tell people, have that same sentiment against your credit professional, because they sold you that bag of goods. They told you that if if they repair your credit, they can get you to a 700 and that you will get any type of credit you want. And then you find out with your 700 plus credit score, you can't get anything. Exactly. Breon Walter. Exactly. Understanding that credit cards are broken up in tiers and you're starting at the 4th tier, all you're going to do is get more of what you got. And this is where I bring in the part about people telling you you're going to help you build business credit. Like I said, it makes my teeth itch. Building business credit with tier 4 cards, I don't care how many net 30 vendor accounts you have, you're not going to get your 100,000 in business credit. Now, one may say, well, Lorelia, how can one break into the tier 1 space after getting their credit repaired? There are steps to it. That is what I help people with. See, they don't understand that there are levels to it. That's where I come in, because people come to me and say, oh, are you going to guarantee me funding? How am I going to guarantee you funding? I don't even know anything about you. But this is what I guarantee people, that I can give them the funding plan that can get them all the funding that they want. How valuable is that? Because what's going to happen is that you're going to find yourself 3 years behind, 5 years still chasing your tail, not even knowing simple stuff like this. See, your credit professional ain't telling you this. Your business credit guru ain't telling you this. He or she knows you have all these tier 4 accounts, but yet and still they're telling you, oh, build your net 30 accounts, and somewhere or the other you're going to get a windfall of money. Like I said, there's levels to it. Do the net 30s, do they have their place? They do. But there's other stuff you need to have. Let me look at what the phone says. Exactly. So, there you go. So, like I said, I'm pulling back the curtains, because this, no one knows. No one knows this. So now you wondering why your 700 credit score ain't getting you nowhere. I recently, not too long ago, had a close friend who reached out to me and said, oh, I got a 700 plus credit score. I can't get approved for no car. Already, when a person tells me that already, it without me saying anything, there's a light bulb that goes off. And she's saying, oh, well, I think I need to go get an 800. And a lot of times that's just not it. You have a thin file. You have a thin file. So it's going to take time to rebuild that file back up. Exactly. Karen Patterson said, no one wants to go through the process. People think they're going to come right out the door getting it. And a lot of times there are mitigating factors that are missing. It almost baffles me. You got these people who say, hey, I'm gonna get you $100,000 in business credit, no PG. Ain't gonna happen unless they're doing something illegal. They're falsifying records. Because understanding you want, and then you got the people like, I want business credit, but I don't want to do no personal guarantee. I don't want nothing on my personal account. I get it, but are you there yet? Are you there yet? Because see, the stuff that I'm talking about, that lender, that business funding lender ain't going to tell you nothing. They ain't going to tell you, because they don't get paid to consult with you. They get paid for doing loans. That's why they'll tell you anything to get your application, get all the information they need to run your credit. Once they run your credit and they see if their system software is going to get you approved, if they know they can get you approved with something, they may give you a little more talking. They'll give you a little more time. They know they can't get you approved, they ain't gonna tell you nothing. And then you got the business credit gurus who selling you on a hope dream. And I'm telling you right now, if business credit is something that you want or funding, and you don't think you need to even look at your personal credit report, I can guarantee you this: you are going to be looking and looking and looking. Look at the video that I did yesterday, and I talked about that. I talked about that. Please, I talked about the FICO Resilient Index score. I showed you what FICO says. FICO is the scoring algorithm. Understand the roles. The credit bureaus do the reporting. The FICO does the scoring. Credit bureaus don't score, they report. FICO does the scoring. And I showed you in the last video how FICO scores and what that means to the lender. So I showed you that. I showed you that. Exactly. DC said that most of these no PG people, exactly. And I talked about artificial intelligence is smarter than you. But you got these, like he said, these no PG people that say, hi, I crack code. They ain't crack no code. The time that you spend thinking that a human is smarter than artificial intelligence, when it doesn't exist, there's not no human in the world that's smarter than AI. And if you have a human telling you that, you better run. I tell people, spend your time learning how the funding game works. Spend your time on that so you can learn how you can get guaranteed money, because you understand the game. You understand what lenders look for. You understand how credit reporting, bureaus, credit scoring, FICO, how that all plays a part. Then when you couple it with a healthy business, you couple healthy personal with a healthy business, money becomes money. There's a windfall of money there for you. There's a windfall. But the only way that you're going to get that windfall, you need that double thing. You need healthy credit, personal credit, and you need a healthy real business. A healthy real business. Other than that, you're going to be building net 30 accounts out of wazoo. Hey, I got 100 net 30 accounts. They all got a paydex score over 100. Where's my 50,000 business credit line of credit? Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. That's why I tell people, when they do the consultation, this is what I want. You know what? We kind of just waste of time right here. Because I rather tell somebody, say, I'm not gonna do like the other lenders. They'll tell you anything. Screw your credit up. Now you got about 15 or 10 inquiries, and then you got the screw face. You don't be mad at them. But there you have it. There you have it. So tell that to your credit professionals. So if you want some free game, if you could take anything from this video, and you know someone that who is recently going through credit repair, and that maybe their aspirations is to get business funding, you have them to hold their credit professionals' feet to the fire and say, hey, after we go through this credit repair process, is there any credit rebuilding that has to go on? See what they answer said. Now, if they answer say, of course, yeah, this, that, and the other, yeah, we got to rebuild. And they start telling you about all these tier 4 banks, I want you to stop them. I want you to stop them and say, hey, how do I get the tier 1 bank stuff? See what their answer is then. And hopefully they don't sell you on, well, you got to buy trade lines, because that's usually what the response is going to be. Well, you got to buy trade lines. How can you go into the tier 1 space without, like I said, all the trickery, the buying the trade lines and all this other stuff? How can you create a long-lasting relationships? Because let me just tell you a thing or two about the trade lines that these professionals aren't telling you. They're not permanent. Trade lines are only for a period of time. So, so if you're being sold on something thinking it's going to last forever, it's not. If you have a legit business, you have a problem. Exactly. DC said, if you have a legit business, you shouldn't have no problem doing a personal guarantee. Exactly. Because what type of integrity do you have that really your end all to be all is that you trying to get a lot of money from a lender with no intentions on paying it back? You know what? If you feel like that's you, you could do me a favor and not even book a call. I'm not interested in working with those type of individuals because I do get those type of people. You know, they want to do a consult and they want me to convince them on how they can get um, all this business credit without any personal guarantee. And already, you know what, my BS detection starts to pick up because I already know there's nobody I want to do business with because your intentions are wrong. Your intentions are wrong. But like I said, most of the stuff that I share with people, it's not it's not comforting because the reason why it's not comforting because it takes time to build. But this is what I assure you. Once you learn how this stuff works, your positioning in the marketplace is different. You know, don't believe me? I have all the success stories that I did when it came to personal credit and dealing with debt collectors. You know, my channel goes back many years before a lot of these new people just started popping up, rehashing a lot of information. And the one thing anybody can ever say about me is that the information I share with you, it's not shared. I mean, a lot of these people are not really pulling back the layers, telling you a lot of it. And like I said, it's uncomfortable at first, but as you begin to understand how this game is played, understand that there is a blueprint, there is a game plan. When you learn the rules, you know, credit and money, it becomes your playground. You see what I'm saying? But it's got to be coupled with the two. So I don't have any more questions, but it's always been a pleasure. If you want to have that conversation, go to bizcredit.yourmoneymentor.com. Let's talk. Let's see how we can get you on the right track to getting a guaranteed $25,000. And like I said, time period wise, I don't put a time period. You know, I'm not here to tell you, oh, in next 30 days, you'll get $100,000. You know, everyone is at a different place. But like I said, before you try to hold me accountable, you hold your credit professionals accountable. And you ask them that you're on the road to rebuilding your credit. How can you get tier 1 cards without getting tier 4, you know, along with the tier 4 cards? Because really, when you start getting tier 4 cards, all you're going to do is get a whole bunch of that. So before you try to hold me accountable, you make sure you hold them accountable. So once again, this is Lorelia. It's always been a pleasure. Check all the links below this video to learn more about what I have to offer and what I have coming up. And I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Thanks all of you who engaged and looked along. And also, if you want to further this conversation, I have a private Facebook group called Credit to Cash Flow. We can continue that conversation in that group. You know, like I said, search it on Facebook, Credit to Cash Flow. And there are some questions that you have to fill out. Please fill them out. And then from there, we can continue talking about it. So talk to you in the next video. Bye.